students, how are you all? I hope all of you are doing really well. Let's start today's chapter, lines and angles. Concepts to be unfolded. Line segment, ray and line, angle. Types of angles, related angles. Complementary angles, supplementary angles, adjacent angles, linear pair of angles and vertically opposite angles. Pair of lines, transversal angles made by a transversal with two lines. Interior angles, exterior angles, corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, co-interior angles, properties of angles made by a transversal with two parallel lines and conditions of parallelism. Let's unfold. You have already studied about lines and angles in your previous class. Let us have a quick recap of some important terms about lines and angles and then proceed further. Line segment, ray and line. You all are familiar with these terms, okay? A line segment is a straight path through which 2 points on a plane are connected. See, this is PQ and PQ is a line segments, okay? A line segment which extends indefinitely in one direction is called a ray. See, PQ is a ray and ये जो line segment है एक direction में indefinitely बढ़ती जाएगी आप पे, okay? इसको extend किया जा सकता है. A line segment which extends indefinitely in both the direction is called a line. For example, PQ is a line, okay? So we can extend this line from both the sides, okay? Angle. An angle is a figure formed by two rays originating from a common initial point. And the adjoining figure, this one, shows an angle that is angle AOB, where O is a vertex and OA and OB are the arms of the angle. Okay, so OA, this is a ray OA and this is another ray OB. So these two rays having same initial point which is O and this initial point here, this it makes an angle. This is the angle, okay? So these two are the arms, okay, and O is the vertex and also it is an angle. Now types of angles. On the basis of degree measure, angles are classified as number 1, acute angle. An angle whose degree measure lies between 0 degree and 90 degree is known as acute angle. And AOB, angle AOB is an acute angle. Acute angle is less than 90. Okay, means it will lie between 0 degree and 90 degree. Number 2, right angle. An angle whose degree measure is 90 degrees known as right angle. For example, this angle AOB is a right angle. Number 3, obtuse angle. An angle whose degree measure is more than 90 but less than 180 is known as obtuse angle. For example, this is your obtuse angle, that is angle AOB. 4, straight angle. An angle whose degree measure is 180 degrees known as a straight angle. Okay, always remember a straight line is of 180 degree and a 180 degree is a straight angle. 5, reflex angle. An angle whose degree measure lies between 180 degree and 360 degree. Okay, means greater than 180 degree and less than 360 degree is known as a reflex angle. See, this is a reflex angle. 6, complete angle. An angle whose degree measure is 360 degree is known as complete angle. Okay, for example, angle AOB is a complete angle. Now, related angles. Number 1, complementary angles. Two angles are said to be complementary angles if sum of their degree measure is 90 degree. Thus, angle P and angle Q are complementary angle if angle P plus angle Q is equals to 90 degree. Okay. Also, angle P and angle Q are known as the complements of each other. देखिए, दो angles को प्लस अगर हम करते हैं और उनका सम आता है 90 डिग्री, दैट मीन्स वो कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री एंगल्स है. ओके, वो दोनों एंगल्स को हम कहेंगे कॉम्प्लीमेंट्स ऑफ ईच अदर. ओके, फॉर एग्जाम्पल 40 degree and 50 degree is a pair of complementary angles because the sum of angles is 40 degree plus 50 degree is equals to 90 degree. Also 40 degree and 50 degree are complements of each other. Number 2, 20 degree and 80 degree is not a pair of complementary angles because 20 plus 80 is 100. Okay, and the sum of the angle is not equals to 90 degree. Therefore, these are not complementary angles. Okay. Number 2 is supplementary angles. Two angles are said to be supplementary angles if sum of their degree measure is 180 degree. Means दोनों angles का sum should be 180. तभी वो supplementary angles होंगे. Okay. This angle P and angle Q are supplementary angles if angle P plus angle Q is equals to 180 degree. Also, angle P and angle Q are known as supplements of each other. For example, see, these two form a pair of supplementary angles because sum of the angles is 180 degree. If you add 115 degree and 65 degree, the sum is 180 degree. So, these are the supplementary angles. And also, 115 degree and 65 degree are supplements of each other. Number 2, 80 degree and 110 degree is not a pair of supplementary angles because their sum is 190 degree, not 180 degree. Okay. Number 3 is adjacent angles. Two angles are said to be adjacent angles if they have a common vertex, they have a common arm, and their non-common arms are on the opposite sides of the common arm. Okay. So, let's consider this example. In the above figure, angle AOB. Okay. Angle AOB. Okay. And angle BOC. Okay. So, these are the two angles. This one and this one. These are adjacent angles. Okay. Why? Because see, O is the common vertex and ray OB, angle AOB, angle BOC. So, OB ray, this is the common arm. Okay. And number 3, the non-common arms, that is ray OA, OA and OC. These are on the opposite sides of ray OB. Okay. Now, consider this example. So, in this figure, angle AOB, this angle, and angle AOC means this angle. These are not adjacent angles. Why? Because see, here O is the common vertex, okay, and ray OA is a common arm, but the non-common arms, that is ray OB and OC, OB and OC, right, are on the same sides of OA. ये OA के same sides में ही है, opposite नहीं है. Okay, that's why these two angles are not adjacent. Okay. Number 4 is linear pair of angles. Two adjacent angles are said to form a linear pair if their non-common arms are two opposite rays. Okay. Now, important results. Number 1, two angles of a linear pair are supplementary. In the adjoining figure, that is this figure, angle AOB means this angle and angle BOC, this angle. These are two adjacent angles and their non-common arms, that is OA and OC, are two opposite rays. Therefore, angle AOB and BOC form a linear pair since AOC is a straight line. See, ये दोनों आपके linear pair बना रहे हैं. Moreover, this is a straight line AOC. That means angle AOC is equals to 180 degree. So, always remember, linear pair, जो दो angles होंगे linear pair का, उनका sum आपका supplementary होगा. Okay. Angle AOB plus BOC is equals to 180 degree. These two angles in a linear pair are supplementary. Remember that. Okay. Next is, conversely, if two adjacent angles are supplementary, they form a linear pair. In the adjoining figure, angle AOB and BOC are two adjacent angles. Okay. These two are adjacent angles such that angle AOB plus angle BOC is equals to 180 degree, or angle AOC is equals to 180 degree, or AOC is a straight line. So, therefore, ray OA and OC are two opposite rays, and hence angle AOB and angle BOC form a linear pair. Okay, so these two angles are forming a linear pair because sum of these two angles is 180. Okay, now important deductions. Number 1, the sum of all the angles on the same side of a line with the common vertex is 180 degree. So, in the adjoining figure, PQ is a straight line, okay, and the angles, angle POA, this angle, angle AOB, this angle, angle BOC, this angle, and angle COQ. Look carefully. These lie on the same side of PQ. Okay, on the same side of PQ with common vertex, which is O. Thus, angle POA plus angle AOB plus angle BOC plus angle COQ is equals to 180 degree. Means sum of all these 4 angles is equals to 180 degree. Okay. Number 2. The sum of all angles about a point is 360. About a point. Okay. So in the adjoining figure, O is the point and rays OA, OB, OC, OD and OE make angles. Angle AOB, angle BOC, angle COD, angle DOE and angle EOA respectively about the point O. Thus, sum of all 5 angles, that is, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, sum of all these 5 angles is 360 degree. Okay. Next is vertically opposite angles. 2 angles are said to form a pair of vertically opposite angles if their arms form 2 pairs of opposite rays. In the adjoining figure, here you can see 2 lines. See, AB and CD, they intersect at O. Okay. Then angle AOD and BOC means this angle and this angle. These are vertically opposite angles. Also, this angle and this angle, these two are the opposite pair of vertically opposite angles. Okay, मतलब वो angles जो आमने सामने होंगे. In short, okay. Important result. If 2 lines intersect each other, then the vertically opposite angles are equal. Okay. For example, 2 lines हैं आपके intersect करें एक point पे. Okay. And जो opposite angles होंगे, vertically opposite angles वो equal होंगे. Means this angle is equals to this angle and this angle is equals to this angle. Okay. So in the joining figure, 2 lines AB and CD intersect at point O. Since AOB is a straight line, then AOD means this one. AOD plus BOD is equals to 180 degree. Why? Because these 2 angles are forming linear pair and also AOB is a straight line. Okay. Also, here you can see COD, this line is also a straight line, right? That means AOC plus AOD, this is equals to 180 degree linear pair. So from equation 1 and 2, angle AOD plus BOD is equals to angle AOC plus angle AOD. Okay. See, AOD and AOD cancel हो जाएंगे. Angle BOD is equals to angle AOC and angle AOD is equals to angle COB. Okay. Example 1 देखते हैं. You have to find the complement of the following angles. This is very easy. Complement, 90 degree. एक एंगल आपको गिवन है 88 डिग्री. सो नेक्स्ट जो आपका इसका कॉम्प्लीमेंट क्या होगा, 90 डिग्री में से आप माइनस कर देंगे 88 डिग्री को. सो द आंसर इज 2 डिग्री. ओके. Example 2, you have to find the supplement. So in this case, you will subtract from 180. Okay. So one angle is given over here, 90 degree. You have to find another one. That is a supplement. So 180 degree minus 90 degree is equals to 90 degree. Similarly, you will do other parts also. Okay. Now let's do exercise A. Write true or false for the following statements. Okay, you have to state whether these statements are true or false. Like number 1, 2 acute angles can be complementary. Do you think that the 2 acute angles can be complementary? Acute angle means less than 90 degree and these can be complementary, means their sum can be 90 degree, of course. So this is true because 2 acute angles can be complementary. Okay. So similarly, you will do other parts, means you will tell whether the statement is true or false. Okay. Pair of lines. 2 distinct lines in a plane are either intersecting or parallel. Okay. Two lines L and M in a plane are said to be intersecting if they have a point in common. Okay. For example, if you observe this example, this figure, L and M, these are intersecting lines with a common point O. Okay. So this is line L, this is line M. Okay, these are the intersecting lines and these have a common point which is O. Okay, means this is a common point where these two lines are intersecting. The common point is known as the point of intersection of the lines. Okay, means this point O is a point of intersection. Two lines L and M in a plane are said to be parallel if they have no point in common. Okay, see, these two lines have no point in common. Okay, so your parallel lines are like this, means there is no common point. So in the adjoining figure, L and M are parallel lines, they have no point in common. The distance between them is same throughout. Remember that. Distance किसी भी parallel lines के बीच में वो same रहेगा throughout. Means these parallel lines will never ever meet at a point. ये किसी भी point पे नहीं मिलेंगे. Okay. Next is transversal. A line that intersects two or more lines in a plane at distinct points is known as transversal. For example, here N is a transversal, okay, intersecting two distinct lines in LM at distinct points. Okay, so this is a transversal because this is intersecting two lines at different points. And number two, P is a transversal intersecting two distinct lines M and N at distinct points. And here in example 3, P is a transversal line intersecting three distinct lines, that is L, M and N at distinct points. Okay. Now, angles made by a transversal with two lines. Consider two lines M and N in a plane which are cut by a transversal P at 2 points M and N respectively, as shown in the adjoining figure. Four angles are formed at M. See, this is point M and here four angles are forming. Angle 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay. Similarly, four angles are formed at N. This is N. Okay, so there are four angles, that is angle 5, angle 6, angle 7 and angle 8. So we assign special names to these angles. Okay, so what are the special names? Let's have a look. Number 1, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, angle 6. These are interior angles. Angle 1, angle 2, see, angle 1, angle 2, angle 7, angle 8. These are the exterior angles. Okay, now see the pairs, angle 1 and angle 5. This is one pair. Angle 2 and angle 6. See, 1 and 5. Okay. Next is 2 and 6. Right. Next pair is 4 and 8. 4 and 8. Okay. And next pair is 3 and 7. So these are pairs of corresponding angles. Okay. Number 4. 3 and 5. Angle 3. Okay. See, angle 3 and angle 5. Okay. These are the pair of alternate interior angles. Similarly, angle 4 and 6. 4 and 6. Okay. These are the pair of alternate interior angles. Right. Next. 5. Angle 1 and angle 7. Angle 1 and angle 7. Okay. And angle 2 and 8. Angle 2 and angle 8. These are the pairs of alternate exterior angles. Okay, these are the exterior angles. Number 6, angle 4 and 5. Angle 4 and angle 5. Angle 3 and angle 6. These are the pairs of co-interior angles. Okay. Properties of angles made by a transversal with two parallel lines. Consider two parallel lines M and N in a plane which are cut by a transversal P at 2 points M and N respectively, as shown in the given figure. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so property 1, the angles of each pair of corresponding angles are equal. Okay, like angle 1 is equals to angle 5. Okay, angle 2 is equals to angle 6. These are the pair of corresponding angles. Okay, and corresponding angles are equal. Similarly, angle 3 and angle 7 and angle 4 and angle 8. These are the corresponding angles and these are equal. This is property 1, property 2. The angles of each pair of alternate interior angles are equal. Okay, so pair of alternate interior angles. Angle 3. Angle 3 is equals to angle 5 and angle 4 is equals to angle 6. Property 3. The angles of each pair of co-interior angles is supplementary. Angle 4 plus angle 5 is 180 degree. Angle 3 plus angle 6 is equals to 180 degree. Okay. Now conditions. What are the conditions of parallelism? If two lines are intersected by a transversal such that, number 1, the angles of any pair of corresponding angles are equal, or 2, the angles of any pair of alternate interior angles are equal, or 3, any pair of co-interior angles is supplementary, then the two lines are parallel. Okay, so these are the conditions of parallelism. Example, identify the following pairs. You have to identify corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, co-interior angles and alternate angles. Okay, so these two are the parallel lines. यहाँ पे आपको कुछ angles mention है, so you have to find out. Okay, कि कौन से corresponding angles हैं, कौन से alternate interior है, कौन से co-interior and alternate exterior angles हैं. Okay. Similarly, you will do example 9 also. In the joining figure, check whether angle 1 is equals to angle 2 or not. So देखिए यहाँ पे L and M जो है दो lines हैं and T is the transversal. So angle 1 and angle 2 is a pair of alternate angles. Okay. These are the pair of alternate angles. But since L is not parallel to M, angle 1 is not equals to 2. Okay. So these two angles are not equal. Right. Exercise B. In the figures given below, state whether the line L is a transversal or not. Okay. So देखिए इन figures में एक line L दी हुई है और आपको ये बताना है कि ये जो line है ये transversal है या नहीं है. Okay. So this is very easy. You can do it. Okay. At a glance, an angle is a figure formed by two rays originating from a common initial point. Types of angles on the basis of their degree measure are, number 1, acute angle, degree measure lies between 0 degree and 90 degree. 2, right angle, degree measure is 90 degree. 3, obtuse angle, degree measure is more than 90 degree but less than 180 degree. 4, straight angle, degree measure is 180 degree. 5, reflex angle, degree measure lies between 180 degree and 360 degree. 6, complex angle, degree measure is 360 degree. Related angles, number 1, complementary angles, sum of degree measure is 90 degree. 2, supplementary angles, sum of degree measure is 180 degree. Number 3, adjacent angles have a common vertex, a common arm and the non-common arms are on the opposite sides of the common arm. Angle 1 and angle 2 are adjacent angles. Okay, means these two angles are adjacent. Number 4, linear pair of angles, adjacent angles with non-common arms forming two opposite rays. Angle 1 and angle 2 form a linear pair. Okay. Two angles in a linear pair are supplementary. Conversely, if two adjacent angles are supplementary, they form a linear pair. Sum of all angles on the same side of a line with the common vertex is 180 degree. Sum of all angles about a point is 360 degree. Vertically opposite angles. Two angles are said to form a pair of vertically opposite angles if their arms form two pairs of opposite rays. Angle 1 is vertically opposite to 2. Okay, and angle 3 is vertically opposite to angle 4. And you know, vertically opposite angles are equal. Two distinct lines in a plane are either intersecting or parallel. Intersecting lines give rise to adjacent angles, linear pair of angles and vertically opposite angles. Transversal, line that intersects two or more lines in a plane at distinct points. Angles made by a transversal with two lines. Okay, so here 8 angles are formed. So 8 angles are formed when a transversal intersects two lines. Okay, so these are the angles and these are the special names, right? Properties of angles made by a transversal with two parallel lines. If a transversal cuts two parallel lines, then property 1 says corresponding angles are equal. That is, these angles are corresponding angles and these are equal. Property 2, alternate interior angles are equal. That is, these angles are alternate interior angles and these are equals. Property 3, co-interior angles are supplementary. That is, angle 4 plus angle 5 is equals to 180 degree. Angle 3 plus angle 6 is equals to 180 degree. And conditions of parallelism. If a transversal intersects two lines, then they are parallel if any one of the following is true. Number 1, angles of any pair of corresponding angles are equal. Number 2, angles of any pair of alternate interior angles are equal. Number 3, any pair of co-interior angles is supplementary. So students, here comes the end of this chapter and keep doing practice of this chapter.